Principles of communication, and that's on page 16 if you're following along. Communication, whether it's intentional or unintentional. Slips of the tongue, nonverbal messages that you give, like I said, the faces that people give you when you say, I think I'm going to do this, and they go. Or, I'm pregnant, and they go. They're happy for you. That's great. Slips of the tongue. Ugh, that happens all too often with me. It's impossible not to communicate. Miscommunication happens regularly. And I think you can come up with all kinds of examples of that. People's interpretation or intent. It's unrepeatable and it's irreversible. You can't repeat the message the same way twice. You miss something, a feeling, a reaction, even just words, verbiage that you leave out. And messages cannot be unreceived if you think about that. That's why I am so adamant with people that when you're communicating, leave personal attacks out of it. Please don't swear. Please, please, please don't swear. Especially at someone calling, name calling, that sort of thing. It immediately just demolishes your message. It completely changes it. And messages that you give cannot be unreceived. Cannot ring that bell. Content and relational dimensions. We are on. Oh, I want to go back to page 8 on the job. Communication is crucial to finding and succeeding in a job. So the reason why this class has become really interpersonal communication has become a mandatory course in colleges across the nation because management across the nation have stated that the big thing lacking with people coming in for interviews is soft skills. So that's eye contact. It's being able to verbalize your strengths, not just say, I'm good at this, but give examples. Walking in, being able to shake someone's hand and be sincere, and it's so nice to meet you, and just communicate back and forth in an intelligible, confident manner. Communication is absolutely crucial in being able to discuss your strengths and turn a negative example of what happened, because they're going to ask you in an interview, tell us about something that happened. It was a conflict at work. How did you turn that into a positive? You have to go in prepared to talk about that, and that's what you need to focus on, is the positive that's happened in your lifetime. Communication comes before technical skills, initiative, analytical ability, and computer skills. Speaking and listening effectively is crucial in career success. Speaking and listening. So it's not just being prepared for the statement as someone's talking. Listen to what they're saying. Recognize what they've said to you and respond to that specifically. Listen. It's not a matter of just waiting for someone to finish whatever they're asking or saying, or starting to speak before they're finished, making their statement or question. It's really important to be listening as you go in. Communication is about using messages to generate meanings. I had another thought and I've already lost it. The linear model is too machine-like. It doesn't consider all the facts, the sender and the receiver. You really need to have the emotions behind that. So really effective listening, stopping and listening. I wanted to go back to technical skills, initiative, analytical ability, computer skills. That's a dime a dozen. Everybody, all of your classmates are getting the same skills you are. You need to shine in another way when you go in for the interview. What is it you're offering? It's likely going to be what they call the soft skills, and that's all of your communication. I was painfully shy growing up. Painfully shy. I couldn't purchase something in any store. I had to get past that. I just had to learn how to look people in the eye, shake their hand firmly, and hold the conversation. Find a common ground with people. It's really, really important. The transactional communication model, it updates and expands the linear model. There's overlap. There's more back and forth, nonverbal messages from communicators, understanding and empathy. Not something done to someone, something done with someone. That's what communication is. The old model would have been, for example, a boss saying, "We need you to do this," and the employees thinking that's not going to work. But you don't say anything because that's the decision made. The new model should have some overlap with the boss that we're thinking about doing this. This is what we'd like to do. And someone with experience can go. The problem with that is this is what happened the last time we tried that. And what you guys are going to find, and I'll repeat this again in the semester, is you will eventually be working for an employer who does not have the skill set to do their job. There's a million of them out there. You will find a manager, a supervisor, someone that you have to work with who does not have the skill set to do their job, and you have to work with them. You got to figure it out. That's what this is about. Noise affects communication, but I'm talking about psychological noise. Biological factors, illnesses, lack of sleep, hearing loss, defensiveness. Stop yourself before you get defensive. If you feel yourself getting defensive about something, stop yourself and ask yourself, is this your assumptions that you are making, or is this something that they're actually saying? Take a deep breath and try to think through how to effectively address whatever it is that's causing you to be defensive. It's other people's assumptions and attitudes as well. You have to recognize that they might be coming in with an assumption and find a way to address that as well. I think you're thinking that I did this when actually I didn't. And that might change the whole progress of your conversation at that point. Relational history plays a big role in communication. This is back to page 12. Think of how events from your upbringing has affected the way you communicate. That's a big one. Things that communication is not. More is not always better. I'm finding in building this classroom, for example, I'm trying to make sure that you have the information in different sections of our online class, because we're all learning the online classroom. So when I put something somewhere, I say you can also find this here, or this is where you're actually going to have to go to answer this question, that sort of thing. But in the long run, more is not always better. I was going to add a lot more to this specific video, but I know I have to focus just on the chapter and the information in the chapter. Meanings are not in words. Saying something is not the same thing as communicating it. I think you guys probably have an idea of what I mean by that. Saying something is not the same thing as communicating it. The nonverbals are a big thing. Your body language, standing